in touch with the ground. I'm lost and I'm found and I'm hungry like... See, I told you it works. Welcome back to Wretched. You knew that Duran Duran song, didn't you? Why? Because you heard it in the grocery store, in your automobile, and it got embedded into your noggin because repetition helps us remember, and we have lost that to a great degree when we lost this not often remembered book called the Hymnal. Let me take you back even further. We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. Why can't you see what you're doing to see? You remember a little bit of Suspicious Minds. That was from the 60s. Splish, splash, you were taking a what? A bath. And that was from the 50s. Why do you remember that? Because you heard it or sang it so often. And that is the same result when we sing a collected body of hymns regularly. They get stuck in there. Case in point. The church's one foundation is Jesus Christ, her Lord. That would be Matthew 16, talking about how Jesus identified Peter's confession, not Peter, but the confession that he is the Christ, the Messiah, the Son of the living God. On that, he's going to build his church. And when you sing that simple line from a hymn that I have not sung in years, you remember that. The church's one foundation is Jesus Christ, her Lord. She, the church, is his new creation by Spirit and the Word. We're not Israel. The church is a new creation. From heaven, he came and sought her. In other words, as Jesus rightly said, he's the only one to descend from heaven. So those heavenly tourism books must not be true. From heaven, he came and sought her to be his holy bride. With his own blood, he bought her, the church, you and me, and for her life, he died. I haven't sung that hymn in years. Did you say you want verse 2? Anybody say they wanted verse? Anybody say?
Verse 2!
Elect from every nation, yet one o'er all the earth. What is that about? That is about the universal church, that there are saints all over the globe. Her charter of salvation, one Lord, one faith, one birth, the new birth. One holy name she blesses, partakes one holy food, communion. And to her rest he blesses with every grace endued. That is something worth remembering. Why? Because a lot of thought went into these, and the focus was primarily, first and foremost, theological soundness, not catchiness, not that they didn't strive for that. I just saw a video with Elton John singing Abide With Me, Fast Falls the Eventide. Why? Because it's such a great tune. We have lost much when we lost the hymnal. Now, what you want to do with this information is up to you. But let's take a look at Tim Challies' 5 things we lost when we lost the hymnal. If you'll recall, we're at number 3. We lost the ability to do harmonies. There's lots of reasons for that loss. It's beautiful when different voices and different ranges harmonize. It elevates the worship. Remember, the highest form of communication is poetry set to music. And when that music is more sophisticated than, I don't know, yes, Lord, yes, Lord, yes, yes, Lord, yes, Lord, yes, Lord. Somebody stop me. Yes, yes, Lord. No. Yes, Lord, yes.
Please stop!
It sounds beautiful, and I think that it is even more pleasing to God's ears. So why did we lose harmony? Well, we lost the hymnal. We lost sheet music reading ability to see my part. We lost musical instruction, and we pretty much lost the bass line, the organ. If you've ever wondered, why does that older lady wear those hideous slippers to play that organ? It's because she was banging out the bass line with her feet, because the bass line tends to get muddied and missed. And so it was brought out from the foot pedals, so that guys like me, who can't sing as high as Chris Tomlin, not that I'm bitter or anything, could actually find our line. We lost all of that. Tim Challies wrote, hymns were most often written so they could be sung a cappella or with minimal instrumentation. Hymnals almost invariably included the music for both melody and harmonies, and congregations learned to sing the parts. The loss of the hymnal and the associated rise of the worship band, it's reduced our ability to harmonize and in that way to sing to the fullest of our abilities. Again, what you do with this information, you will have to determine that. But maybe we should at least give the hymnal another look. I mean, after we blow off the dust. Number two thing we lose with the hymnal being bye-bye. We lost the ability to sing skillfully. This from Tim Challies. As congregations have lost their knowledge of their songs, they've lost the ability to sing them well. And we compensate for our poorly sung songs by cranking up the volume to 11. Our music is dominated by a few instrumentalists and a pair of mic'd up vocalists, while the congregation plays only a meager role. It often seems like all we want from the congregation is their enthusiasm. Does this have to happen with contemporary worship music? No, but it regularly does. If you've ever wondered, can a man make a living with ADH, whatever you call it? I think that a man can, because you see, while I was reading that, I realized that the second verse of A Church Is One Foundation, I actually said it wrong. And to one hope she presses, with every grace endued. Thank you, I corrected myself. I feel better. We can now get back to our regularly scheduled programming. The number one thing we lost with the hymn, we lost the ability to have the songs in our homes. Say what? Hymnals usually lived at the church, resting in the little pockets on the back of the pews, but people also bought their own and took them home so the family could have that established body of songs there too. Families would often sing together in their family worship. Imagine that. It is easy to imagine a family singing "It Is Well With My Soul" after dinner, but almost impossible to imagine them singing "Oceans." Wow. 2 jabs at one song in one program. Does your family sing? Do you worship together at home? Could it be because you do not feel comfortable leading them in a contemporary song because you find it difficult to sing? Now, I grant you, we all sound fabulous when we're singing alone in our cars and nobody can hear us. But to lead your family in worship when it is a song that professionals are paid to sing, it makes it kind of difficult to lead your family. Furthermore, how does your family know what the melody is? You see, in this book, you know, because the notes were there, and you, if you had a working knowledge of reading music, you could go, all right, I got it. We can all do this together as we read music together. You can't do that with contemporary worship. Maybe, just maybe, more families would be worshiping and singing at home if we simply gave this dusty old book called the hymnal a second look. Cue the MIDI, please. We are in the middle of our Rescue the Perishing campaign, inviting you to join us in seeking and saving that which is lost. Perhaps this hymn, "Hark the Voice of Jesus Crying," perhaps points at you. Verse 3, "If you cannot be a watchman, standing high on Zion's wall, pointing out the path to heaven, offering peace and life to all." Does that sound like you? You can't go. You maybe aren't ready yet to start witnessing one-on-one to people. What can you do to rescue the perishing? With your prayers and with your bounties. That's old hymnal language for money. With your prayers and with your bounties, you can do what God demands. You can be like faithful Aaron, holding up the prophet's hands. Will you join us and help us rescue the perishing?